Welcome to the Workforce Connections podcast, where we discuss workforce development in Southern Nevada. Here's your host.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of the WC podcast. Today, we have a very special guest. Please help me welcome my friend Vince Ciminise, Senior Vice President and Commercial Loan Manager for Valley Bank of Nevada, and my fellow Vegas Chamber Trustee. Welcome, Vince.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to talk a little bit about you, get to know you a little bit, let our listeners get to know you as well, and hear about what's going on at Valley Bank. So first, tell us where you were born, where you grew up, went to school, college, all the way to your first job.
Sure, that was a long time ago. So I was born and raised in Western New York, Buffalo, Tonawanda, Niagara Falls. Lived there until the late 70s. We had a little enough of the cold weather and the winter storms, and we moved to Vegas. So we came here in the late 70s. I went to UNLV, graduated, in the 80s, got married, and started my banking career.
Wow. You saw Tark and the Running Rebels in their best era.
I did, yes. Went to a lot of games, not at the convention center, but at UNLV.
The new Thomas and Mack.
Thomas and Mack, yeah.
Wow. Was the Rotunda gone by the time you were here?
Well, it was still open. So, my senior year, they were finishing the Thomas and Mack.
Okay. And when you were watching some of these basketball games, did you go to the regionals when they were playing in the Final Fours in the 87 or?
No?
Okay.
No.
Very good.
Yeah. Didn't make it there. Watched them.
Yeah, I know. We all watched them, yeah.
Exciting times.
Yep. Now, you've held several positions in banking at Continental First Security Bank, Silver State Bank, Bank of Las Vegas, Wells Fargo, and now Valley Bank of Nevada. What led you to become interested in the banking industry, and you've stayed all this time?
Well, kind of just happened, right? Like most people, right? When I was going to UNLV, my degree was, I was, pursuing a degree in accounting. I wanted to be a CPA. And, and when I finished, I still wanted to be a CPA, but, I said, wow, do I really want to, be a bean counter? Do I want to, do auditing? I liked accounting, but I just didn't know if I wanted to do it full time. So I was interviewing, with CPA firms, for jobs. And my sister-in-law at the time worked for Valley Bank and said, hey, listen, we have had to create this new position. It's called a credit analyst. And they're looking for someone with an accounting degree or a finance degree. Would be interested in talking. I said, sure. I went in, I talked to them, it sounded like a great opportunity. I could use my accounting degree, but I didn't have to do accounting, but I just had to have the knowledge of accounting. And it was kind of like a new startup position within the bank. So I thought that would be kind of challenging and fun. And quite honestly, it was paying the same as a staff accountant position with the CPA firm. So I went for it.
That's how it started.
That's
and
how it all started, yeah.
What's kept you, interested and, of course, professionally fulfilled all this time, because you're still in banking?
Yeah, I think like anything, for me, I enjoyed it, right? Because, I always tell people when I got into banking, I went right in as a credit analyst. I run right into the credit side of the bank. So I never spent a day in operations. So, people always say, oh, you're in banking. Can you help us count the money? I said, not me. I said, listen, I don't know how to count money. I don't know how to strap money. I said, I do understand credit, though. And so I went on the credit side of the bank. And so, the thing then, too, on the credit side of the bank is that not only were they looking for people that were analytical and could understand credit and underwrite credit, but people that could, deal with customers, right, and develop business. So I got to, meet customers and work with customers, and I really enjoyed that. I really liked working with the customers, helping them grow their businesses, and, and years later going by and say, God, I helped them put that building loan together. I helped them grow the business, from, 10 employees to 100 employees. So it was very fulfilling, and so I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the people I worked with. I had some great mentors, along the way, and I learned a lot from them, and I enjoyed working with them. So I just really enjoyed what I was doing, and I enjoyed helping businesses and helping people succeed, and not only the owners and the next generation, their kids. So, and I've got a lot of customers I've been dealing with for 30 plus years. So, and I still enjoy doing it.
I think that's what matters, and you can tell in your voice when you find a job that you're passionate about, and like you just explained, get fulfillment for, it doesn't feel like you're working anymore. It feels like you're just doing something you love. So
Yeah, I agree.
That's good.
Absolutely agree.
That's good. Now take us on a trip, daily, if you will. Technically, what is it like to be the commercial loan manager? So what do you do? Give us some examples of the technical part of that job.
So, I manage a team of 5, including myself, and we're responsible for, generating the new commercial loan business for the bank. So our team, is, out on the street, looking for new business, working with existing customers, helping them with their loan needs, also, responsible for bringing deposits into the bank and new relationships. We underwrite the credits. We call it portfolio management. We manage the relationships after the fact. We do the renewals of the credits as they come up for maturity. So, like I said, we do a lot, with the small team. And so we keep pretty busy, and that's one thing about a small bank. It's tight staffing, and purposely, and like I said, we all wear a lot of different hats. But that's what we do in a nutshell.
Good. And I know that we talk a lot about economic growth and economic diversification at the chamber when Mary Beth convenes her board of trustees. At the LVGA, our economy just now for over a decade, there's been a lot of intentionality on diversifying and growing our economy beyond what was always our anchor of our economy, the hospitality industry. What role has Valley Bank played in the economic growth of our city, our region, over the time you've been there?
Yeah. Well, I'd like to say that our contribution is we help the small businesses, right? We help them, acquire, a building, let's say, to expand their business, or a line of credit to help them, expand their business, or an equipment loan for a new piece of equipment to help them expand their business. And like I said, I think it's all about working with the customers, understanding the customer's business, and and also too working with them to control growth. Right, so they don't overexpand and create an issue for themselves and find themselves in a position where they've grown the business too quickly. So I think we have a responsibility to help the customers grow, but also grow responsibly, and I think we do a pretty good job with that.
That's good. So Vince, we hear it all the day here in our business at Workforce Connections. As you know, we're in talent development or workforce development, and today, employers are just having a tough time recruiting, hiring, retaining the talent they need. Just to stay open, sometimes much less grow. And so it seems to be a universal problem, not just in our region, but the nation, the fact that there's more open jobs right now than there are people to fill them. So how is this affecting Valley Bank, if at all?
Yeah. So our challenge when it comes to employment is more like at the level of the like tellers and new accounts. The middle management or senior management. Those positions are those are filled. And those are people that have been with the bank for a number of years. But our challenge is and also being small. We don't, and like I told you, we kind of tightly staffed. We don't have a lot of time to train. And we don't have the time, and we don't have the resources. So we always need to try and hire people that have some level of experience, and maybe they're single dimensional. Maybe they only know how to be a teller. They don't know new accounts. But we can work with them and teach them. So our challenge is we bring people in, we find them, we bring them in. We get them set up, we train them, and they're working well. And then somebody else comes in and offers them $2 or $3 more an hour, and that's a challenge, right? Because it's you put a lot of time and effort in to training them. They're working out well, and sometimes that $2 to $3 an hour somebody else wants to pay them doesn't make economic sense for us, and it's not fair to some of the other employees too. And you just can't take care of one employee. You got to kind of take care of them all. So that's the biggest challenge that we have is getting people in. And retaining them.
Yeah, there's a term now that we hear a lot. A job seeker market they call it, but it's like in the real estate business they always say a buyer's market, a seller's market, and when it's a seller's market, the seller can ask. There's a lot of offers there and can choose their offer, like you said, and some people can afford to pay more than others or have the urgency of moving in and can pay more than others. And in this case, you're right. I think everybody's facing the same thing where in this market, there's a lot of choices for the job seeker, if you will. So That's good. Now, I want to talk also a little bit about what brought us together. You and I serve on the Vegas Chamber Board of Trustees, and we're preparing. Hopefully, you already reserved your room because I know they say that registrations are high and rooms are sold out, but the annual DC Fly-In is coming in. I think we're 2-3 months away from it. It's September. Are you all booked for that?
I'm not yet.
Okay, you better hurry. But it's that's one of the many things that happens. I think networking opportunities, advocacy opportunities that we have as members of the Board of Trustees to travel to DC and meet with our congressional representatives, and again get to spend time with our fellow trustees. But what do you enjoy most about being a member of the Board of Trustees of the Vegas Chamber and working with Mary Beth and her team?
Yeah. So for me, I think it's, I think we're all in an industry. We kind of always associate with people within our industry, right? Bankers get together with bankers, have lunch with bankers. We go to conferences. We go to conferences with other bankers. But I think what I enjoy about the chamber is that, there's a broad group of, industry leaders that are part of the trustees, whether it be sports, medical, entertainment, and workforce connection. So to me, it's been really enjoyable to meet all different people, hear about their what they do in their industry, and get a little more insight. But I think really what I like about being part of the chamber is I deal with small businesses all the time, and the chamber really is a voice for those small businesses, whether it be legislative issues, or things of that nature. But I think that, most business owners are so busy running their business, right, that, they don't have time to really get involved. Some do, but most don't. But the chamber's there to be the voice for them and kind of help, move things through the process or help try and change things that may negatively affect, the business owner. So I think that's what I really enjoy most about the people that I'm associated with at the chamber and what the chamber does for the small business community.
I'm so glad to hear you say that because that's another big pillar of our partnership with the Vegas Chamber at Workforce Connections. Mary Beth and her team recognize the importance of what you're talking about, that small businesses, sometimes a small business owner wears multiple hats. And in this topic that we're talking about for finding talent, they don't have an HR department where they can have a, recruiter and a talent liaison and so all these things. And so they became the first chamber of commerce in the nation to host an American Job Center, one of our American Job Centers. So we send our staff there, and it's kind of a built-in resource, not just for chamber members, but the business community at large. Mary Beth's always saying, she wants to help all small business owners because the changes that the chamber advocates for in Carson City or Washington helps every small business. So for us, again, as we're talking about small business, they need access to capital through banking. They need talent, which we help them with. They need advocacy, which was the chamber helps them with. As you said, we're an ecosystem. Besides those things, what other things would you say small businesses need the most? What's the common theme there? We've talked about talent, recruitment, retention. We've talked about advocacy for policy at the state, federal level. Access to capital, very important for growth. Is there any other things as you work with small businesses that's becoming something that they really need?
Yeah, I think, sometimes, business owners, they really are good in their specific industry, right? They know their industry, right? They know what they do. They know how to get the job done. But a lot of times, they lack the financial ability. I shouldn't say financial ability, but the financial savviness to manage the business. And I think we're there as an advocate to help them, right? Through, hey, did you think through this? If you're going to borrow this money and you're going to buy this piece of equipment, how much money are you going to make with it, or how much money are you going to save? Does it make sense? So I think we're there to kind of be a sounding board, for businesses. And I think a lot of businesses need that, right? Because I said, we see it a lot. A lot of times businesses grow too fast, right? They take on too much debt. And so I think, for us, it's incumbent on us to work with them and make sure they grow the business correctly and make the right financial steps.
What's the most appropriate way to refer to that? Is that called business mentoring, business coaching, or?
Yeah, I think we can call it, business coaching.
Okay, very good. Very interesting. So let's switch away from work for a bit,
okay,
because we've got to see and hear now about what you do at Valley Bank, how the bank helps small businesses in our community. But in your own time, what hobbies or activities do you like or do you enjoy when you're not working?
Well, I work a lot, but I'm a walker. I walk about 5 miles a day, every day. So that's one of my hobbies.
Before or after work?
I do it in the morning.
Okay.
I'm out of the house usually by 5 o'clock in the morning, and do it for about an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes. So
wow.
Yeah.
And that must be a time where you reset and
oh my goodness, absolutely. That's a time to clear your mind and kind of plan out your day. Yeah. So when I get home, I'm ready to go. Shower, shave, and have a little breakfast, and get the day going. But yeah, absolutely.
Very good. Does that schedule get changed or when you travel, or do you still find a way to do it when you travel?
It changes a little.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends where I'm at. If I really want to go out and walk there, if it's or sometimes if changes, I'll go to the gym at where I'm at. But yeah, I like walking wherever I go if I can.
That's very good.
Yeah.
That's very good. Now you've accomplished a lot in your life so far, in your professional life, and we have young listeners, and we also have young participants in our programs that are always looking ahead. And when they look, 20, 30 years from now, it's hard for them to envision themselves leading a bank, leading a chamber of commerce, leading organizations. But what I always say, you don't eat an elephant all at once. You have to start one bite at a time. And so what kind of advice would you give young people who look at you and say, man, I would sure like to have accomplished as much as Vince when I am, when I get there?
Well, thanks. I tell my own kids this. I said, one thing, and I've trained a lot of people through the years, it's trained, mentored, and I've always told them, you got to earn your stripes. And a lot of people don't like to hear that, right? And I say, you got to pay your dues, you got to earn your stripes. You're not going to go, from, the entry-level position to, president, CEO overnight. I said, it doesn't happen. I said, so, if you like what you're doing, do a good job at it. I say, be an overachiever, right? And take on all the jobs that are difficult, maybe other people don't want to work at. Prove yourself. Prove that you're reliable. Prove that, you're disciplined. Prove that you're punctual. It's just all things that I think are important. The journey, right? It's all about the journey, and you have to have a journey. And like I said, try and be the best you can be. And if you really want to be up at the top, let people, it's not wrong to let people know what you want to do, but understand, that you got to learn, and you got to, it takes time and time and maturity. And like I said, I tell my kids that all the time. Oh, Dad, that. But it's true. I think it's, if you work hard at something, people know it. People see hard workers, and people know who's doing the work and who's not doing the work, and who's going to be the person that's going to move up. And so I always tell people, be a sponge, absorb as much as you can, and it'll happen. If you work hard and you put your mind to it, it's going to happen.
That's great advice. Well, Vince, we're reaching the end of the podcast, so this is a moment where we turn the mic over back to you for any final thoughts or announcements, events, opportunities that the bank might have. I know Valley Bank has events, sponsors things, so the mic is all yours for your final thoughts.
Okay, well, thanks. So yeah, we don't have any events planned, but we're always open to events. We have 3 locations. We have three really nice boardrooms. And we always say that, we're open if somebody wants to come in and it's a topic with financial literacy and they want us to, come in and talk to customers. We're more than glad to, put something out to our customers that could benefit them from a financial literacy standpoint. So we're like I said, we're always open to that. And we've done a few of those in the past, but we'd be glad to do it again,
What would be the first step, Vince, for somebody to start in that journey? Is there an email address or a website that they can go to or phone?
Yeah, they could email me directly, and it's Ciminise, Ciminise at valleybanknv.com.
Okay, we'll make sure we'll put that on the screen too for our viewers. And thank you for being here today, sharing a little bit about you, sharing a little bit about your experience at the Vegas Chamber and, of course, at Valley Bank. I appreciate you spending time with us this morning.
Well, thanks. My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Vince. All right, well, that's it for another episode of the WC Podcast. We hope to see you at the next one. Until then, stay safe. All right. Well, Vince, thank you for staying over to doing our bonus segment called Against the Wall. The first section is called Your Favorites. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm going to give you a category, and you're going to give me your favorite thing in that category. Your favorite food.
Pizza.
Your favorite meal that you cook.
Rigatoni's Portofino.
Favorite wine for that dinner.
A Pinot Noir.
Favorite musical group or artist.
Boston.
Favorite movie.
Blazing Saddles.
Favorite book.
Don't have one.
Favorite sports team.
Buffalo Bills.
Favorite Vegas sports team.
Vegas Golden Knights.
Very good. You made it through the first section. Kerry Bubos will be happy with you, our other fellow trustee. Now, the second section is called Tough Choices. I'm going to give you two choices, and hopefully you can pick one. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Vacation or staycation?
Vacation.
Drive to your vacation spot or fly there?
Fly.
When you get there, stay in a hotel or an Airbnb?
Hotel.
One day, retire on a ranch or in the big city?
Ranch.
Would you rather spend a day by the ocean or hiking in the mountains?
Ocean.
Yeah. Now, if you were a superhero, would you rather have the ability to fly or breathe underwater?
Fly.
Ability to speak with animals or speak any foreign language?
Speak any foreign language.
Here's a tough one. Actions or words?
Actions.
Justice or grace?
Justice.
Very good. You've made it through tough choices. The final segment is called Finish the Sentence. I'm going to give you about 95% of the sentence. You're going to finish it for me. Are you ready?
Ready.
If Vince could visit any place in the world, it would be?
Italy.
The best part of living in Southern Nevada is?
The weather.
Vince's favorite thing about his job at Valley Bank is?
Working with great people.
If Vince could travel back in time, he would travel to?
Don't know.
3 words that describe Vince are?
Integrity, loyal, and hardworking.
Very good. I couldn't agree more. And doing the WC podcast today here with us was?
Great.
Awesome. Well, Vince, thank you for staying over.
Yeah. My pleasure. Thank you for having me.